Hey, good morning. Thank you, movers and shakers. So my son sent me a video last night, and it was a boxer. And this guy said, you are the sum of or the average of the top 5 people that you spend the most time with. And maybe you've heard that before, but he said something funny when he said it. He said, so if we know that, if we know we're the sum of the top 5 people we spend the most time with, why do we keep spending our time with losers? And that word, I like to be careful with that word because I think when we start labeling people as losers, then we think we're better than them. We think we can't learn from them. I think that word can be dangerous, but there is some truth in the idea or the concept of winners and losers. Motivational speaker Eric Thomas, he says, I don't know why it is. I can't explain it, but I can tell you this: winners win and losers lose. Winners win and losers lose. Have you ever seen that person that they will work, they will do whatever it takes, and they will not lose? They will make it happen again and again and again in their lives. And we've probably seen those people too who just anything they touch doesn't work out. They can't keep a commitment. They don't have the passion, the enthusiasm, the stick-to-itiveness to make it happen. And they're always full of excuses. So as much as I want to be careful in labeling people as winners and losers, there is some truth to the idea that, hey, some people are doing things and behaviors and activities and are winning, and some people, because we're locked in our own minds, we're not winning. So I thought that was an interesting concept to bring to the room today. When we think about this room and when we think about the objections that people tend to give to this group, they say, well, I don't want to have to wake up early, or I don't want to spend that much money for a networking group. Why don't I get the less expensive networking group? Well, maybe those people need to be made to understand that it's worth it. I mean, that's why you do that, because it gets you around a different group of people. I remember my friend gave me Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker. He gave me some CDs from Tony Robbins years ago. And Tony Robbins spoke to the military. And the guy in the military told Tony, he says, when most of these guys get out of the military, he goes, their standards are going to drop. And so Tony was trying to motivate these guys. When you're around a certain group of people in a certain system, in certain expectations, you do certain things. You get up and you exercise every day and you run and you do things you don't want to do, but you become a trained athlete who is ready for action and ready to protect the United States of America. And when you get out of the military, and nobody's making you get up, and nobody's making you run, and nobody's making you do that, and there's no peers around, and you're sitting on the couch, and then what happens? Like, what do you do? Who are you? We're in a group, there's a system. Some people look at this system and they think it's militant, and they go, oh God, I don't want to have to get up and go to the networking group that I paid for. I mean, why do you pay for the networking group to not go? Why do you pay for the gym to not go? No. What we want to do is we want to pay for the gym, and then we want to make sure that we're influenced by the people who go to the damn thing, And when we get there, we want to not be chilling and hanging out and taking it easy. We want to be influenced by the people who are getting the best results. So we're here, and maybe we need to educate other people about why they want to be here as opposed to the free networking group. And maybe we need to be spending more time with each other in one-to-ones and learning from each other. Young people, don't make the mistake of thinking that you can't learn from the older people. You think, oh, they don't know anything anymore. They're set in their ways. Things have changed. You'd be surprised how few things have changed in this world from decades ago. I talked to my dad, and by and large, there's a lot about people in industries that have not changed. There's a lot that the younger members can learn from the older members. But older people, don't be mistaken in thinking that there's nothing that you can learn from the young person. Interacting with young people keeps us young. I saw a article about a guy in France. He's like 104 years old. He's an athlete. He rides a bicycle. He's healthy. He participates in bicycle races. And they're like, man, how do you do it? What do you do? And he's like, all my friends are younger. You know, I had clients and they were older and they said, Brian, you know, all my friends, all of our friends are getting sick. They're all dying. That's not easy. It's not an easy time of life when all your friends are getting sick and dying. Are you doing anything to get the younger friends? You know? So older people need to understand there's a lot we can learn from younger people to keep us young, to keep us aware of how to market ourselves on social media, to keep us aware of trends and things that we can, you know, things, attitudes that are developing today and that we're not stuck so long ago. So that's what I wanted to do today, is encourage you. We need to be doing those one-to-ones. We need to be looking at the bigger picture and what we can learn from each other. And as I'm sitting here looking on this side of the room, and be influenced. You know, we get in this room and we think, oh yeah, I'm doing a lot of work. I'm doing a lot of work. I'm doing 2 one-to-ones a week. And then we hear this guy and he's like, well, I got in here and I did 5 one-to-ones a week. We need to be influenced when we get around successful people and we see what they're doing and how they're doing different or how they're doing more. And that's when we can make the choice of, hey, I'm going to step that up. And then finally, we need to be inviting. We need to be inviting. And now when I say we need to be inviting, I don't mean we need to be inviting. You know, I mean you. I mean every single person in this room. Don't think that it means everybody else. It means us. It means you. It means me. And we need to be inviting and growing the group. You know, I said at the beginning of this educational moment, if we are the average of the top 5 people we spend the most time with, then why do we keep hanging with losers? Right? Ha ha. Well, if we know that doubling the size of the group triples the amount of the referrals, then why are we not doubling the size of the group? Ha ha. This has been your educational moment. Brian Wade, Tampa Financial Group.